Should I be bringing the food?
Are you hearing me?
Yes, I am.
Good.
Should I be bringing the food?
No,
Is that for later?
That's for when we're finished. So, and so I'm really particular about, like, if I think they've had enough, then we stop, you know.
Yeah.
It's, and you know, the first sort of, or any sessions on menu should be about them enjoying it, etc. So, I'll get all this stuff off here. Right, how is she to get on?
Yeah, she's alright. We'll see. She's normally alright, but obviously we're in a new place.
Was that a sarcoid in front?
Yeah, she's got a few of them. The vet just checked them.
So, yeah.
So.
It is what it is.
Yeah.
Mum got them as well.
No.
Interesting.
No.
And who did she buy?
A horse called Beckham from Winchester. Not very cute.
Right, now, what I'd like you to do is literally take a walk.
Okay. I just.
Mid-girth, yeah?
Yeah.
Do you want me to do that?
If you. He lives on a track. Ross!
This rain. Breathing, walking. I meant to bring a bag with me.
No, it's alright. I didn't realise.
Okay.
I was worried about them all getting hot.
Yeah.
I'm not using as much as the sauce because obviously
You're right.
walking around 20 minutes.
Good.
Are you alright?
Yeah.
You got a full day?
No. Should have been, but yeah, couple of cancellations. Which is shoulder to elbow yours, elbow to finger hers. Your elbow is that joint that moves with her. So just always conscious of the fact that you've got that ligament from pole to dock that runs down the centre and under you. So, you know, just getting that feeling of it moving nice and loosely is about her. So just, again, just go into another halt. As I said, it doesn't really matter what she's doing. You sit there breathing, count to 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and walk on. It's lovely. And you know, it's always so easy to get knickers in a twist and they're a little bit like, oh my god. And actually they need to be, oh my god, they need to just have a little look around, and you being calm gets them to settle. Good girl. Just keep doing those little curves. And really think about that bend around you, so it's a really nice curve around your leg. And then through open hands, so you know, if you get that back end working, that's the engine, you've got to give that somewhere to go. So think about as you go through that curve, wide open with your hands to give her that open door to go through. And that direction is changed through your body. And if you think about your arms and hands conducting the music in front of you, so it's all got to flow nicely. That's lovely. Right, and then continuing with that same sort of action of the curve and the straight. On the straights, I want you to trot, changing your rising diagonal every 5 strides, and then on the curves, you can change every 10 strides. You're right. Yep. So now, so on when you're changing every 5, keep it straight. When you're changing every 10, curve. So let's do 40 strides changing every 5, and then 40 strides changing every 10.
It's a lot to remember.
And just keep those hands open wide, and remember, shoulder to elbow yours, elbow to fingers hers. Don't rush. Lovely. And this little exercise is called pumping the piston. Once you go into 10s, you stretch through a little bit more. Good, and then you should go through to the 10s. So curve for 10, 40 strides of that. I'm sitting on it. Good, well done. Nice and focused, lovely. And just see how straight you can keep that straight line when you're changing every 5. Quite a powerful move. And it's a really good way of sort of like feeling, are they even? Are we working on that even diagonal? Everyone always says they change, and they don't change as often as they think. Keep the 5s at 40, and then increase the 10s to 60. So this is sort of like an exercise that it gives you, you know, in trot the horses are working on diagonal pairs. It's very easy for them to become one-sided,
Yes.
and they'll push you off of one diagonal.
Right.
And as riders, we are pretty one-sided as well. As people, we are pretty one-sided as well.
That's
and it's something
natural.
you can't afford to be, particularly if you're going to do long distance.
Because I suppose it wears tires to the horse out.
Absolutely, and you know, it encourages. You know, they're flight animals, therefore, you know, they will find a way round any disability, inability that they've got. So you have to make sure that you work them evenly and correctly in order for them to muscle up correctly.
Right. And therefore be able to ride for longer periods without getting so tired, and presumably also then.
So the last 2 horses that were here, they're both doing 80k at King's Forest next week.
Right.
And we did like 4 or 5 circuits of continuous canter,
Right.
having done quite a big warm
Right,
up thing.
okay. Right.
So our 100 milers, 160k, before a championship, we'll probably be doing 2, possibly, probably twice a month, a 30k canter.
Right. Wow.
So, yeah.
That's pretty. Yeah. But then I suppose this, in some ways, it's like people who run the London Marathon.
Yeah.
They have to build up there, and then they keep. They do it in stages, don't they?
Absolutely,
Build it up in stages, and then they have rest periods as well. And
exactly, with endurance, it's about year upon year fitness.
Yeah.
And it's learning about rhythm and balance and everything.
Yeah.
You know, so that very often the horses are quite often at lower levels, tired out because riders will walk them.
Right.
And actually, they don't need to be doing that.
No.
The body shuts down almost in walk.
Yeah.
So
it's about getting them up to a steady level,
is active.
so they're not peaking and they're not troughing. They're just in the middle.
Yeah. So, for me, I'd like them to be working in that aerobic zone the entire time.
Right. Yeah.
Training is about getting them into the anaerobic zone to just get that fitness level up.
That's interesting, isn't it? As a philosophy of keeping them in that middle band, so that they don't go overexert. Because then obviously there's this 64 heartbeat thing, isn't there?
Yeah.
That if they break that, they're disqualified, sort of thing. So you want to keep them in that.
This is lovely. Good, that's lovely. Nice. Looking for a little stretch. And then if you just pop into walk there now and let her stretch forward. Good. Just let her have her head so that she stretches down. And then we'll have a little chat before I spin you around the other way. You're tired, she's not.
She looks tired for me.
Yeah. So how's that feel?
Good, yeah.
Good.
Very good.
So could you feel sort of, you suddenly start getting much more of a rhythm and balance.
Yeah.
So
she's settled. Oh.
Huh?
Look, you sound like that. I forgot it was there.
Good. Everyone always wants to rock me
Sorry.
because I think that I'll let them.
No.
So getting them, and particularly when you bring them to work on a surface straight away.
Yeah,
So many people do too much, and then the horses expect to be doing that all the time.
Yeah. No.
Warm up is the most important thing always.
Yeah. She was even scared of the white.
Oh yeah, that's not unusual.
She was
For them
like,
to go, Christ, I can't go in there. Yeah. Gotta get me. Good. Right, we'll pop round the other way.
Okay. Yeah.
And so
I'll pop her onto a bit because we're settled now. I just don't like pulling on her mouth too much when she's being silly.
So that looks quite low in her mouth to me.
Oh really? Okay. I'll put it up more.
No, maybe not. My mouth looks like that.
Yeah, it's quite chewy on it. She's not.
Yeah.
She always has it in, but I don't.
And I think, do you know what? Sometimes people think that a rubber one is actually nicer, but they don't actually. Try a sweet iron.
Oh really? Okay.
Unless they really salivate on those, they can be quite.
I had it.
Perfect. No, that's fine. Yeah.
But I could choose myself on that one.
Who did you have? Oh right, yeah, she's got a fantastic reputation. So yes, So same thing.
Yeah.
So if you think about, so the 5s, you know, if they're at all uneven, well, as you feel, you know, you feel those dodgy strides.
I can count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then to 10. But the 40 and 30, I'm a bit.
You're getting confused on it. It's fine.
I just do 5 sometimes and 10 sometimes. Then have to be able to count to 10 and stay aboard.
So you should be able to think of that. I've got to change a rising diagonal every 5 in a straight line.
Okay.
And then 10 is that nice curve. So 10 strides. 10 strides.
Right, okay.
So rather than it being too tight.
Yeah.
And then hands open wide, giving her that door to go through.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
So same thing again. So let's do the 5s first of all. No, so back up into trot now. See if you can hold that straight line. Good, open your hands. Just fiddle with your fingers as opposed to your feet. Think forward always with your hands. And then go to the 10s. Think 4 curves. Each time you change the curve, you change the rising diagonal. Sweeping through those hands. Well done.
This is the first time I've seen her riding the horse in any sort of.
Oh,
You know,
really?
yeah. Normally, I see her in the field.
Yeah.
But I don't generally. I haven't. Well, I have seen her ride out of the field and go on a ride somewhere. But then obviously she disappears off, and I don't really. We've talked about me coming out on a bike, a pedal bike, you know.
Yeah.
And there's obviously lots of bridleways around that we could do that. But no, it's nice to see her. I mean, I layman, so I don't really understand. But it seems Jess sometimes is a bit willful. I don't know if that's normal or not,
Yeah,
but she seems a bit. She doesn't seem completely at ease. You know, like she's. I don't know if she's young or.
Yeah, she's young.
Is she? Yeah.
She's
Okay.
got to learn still.
Yeah. I think that's.
You know,
that's...
she's 2 feisty breeds as well.
Yeah.
And a woman.
I'm glad you said that because I don't think I'm allowed to say that anymore.
Probably not.
Anyway. Anyway, it seems a lot to learn. For me, I mean, you know, as a noob.
Okay, and then pop a halt in somewhere. Again, just that count to 5. And then back up to trot again. And just in the walk, so I want you to ride her into a contact and then drop the contact. So think about sort of taking that deep breath in, sucking her up under you, and then releasing her out so that she just starts to really step under you. Inhale, sucking her under you, so that you feel it almost come back to you, and then release her forward. So it's like it's a half halt basically, but not off your reins, off your seat. And into another halt. Suck her up under you. Exhale and walk on. Good, well done. And then we're going to pop up to trot again. This time we're just going to stay, changing rising diagonal every 10 strides. Just do that big curve, so really feel her body weave under you. So in your mind's eye, have that half moon. Hands up to the side as you go through. Really sweep through. Think about giving her that open door to go through. Giving with your forearm, and just balancing with your the upper part of your arm. Lovely. And you're going to keep coming past us this time. Well done. So watch my arms, like this.
Okay.
That's super.
Yeah.
That sits you deeper into the saddle. Less interference. Keep going. Well done. Feel a step under you. Sweep from side to side. Ooh, well sat. Well done. Good. Go forward. That's fine. And trot.
Wow.
Yeah, it's
Very
different.
good.
Yeah, I thought I'm teachers.
Okay, and through to a halt. And stand. 2, 1, and then turn around. You're going to come back this way. Good. Now I think you're going to do the same with the trot. The 10s. Go past us. Sweeping from side to side. Sweep from side to side. And breathing. Hands a little further forward. But out to the side still. So just let her go into that contact. That's lovely. Well done. Good. Now you're actually going to ask for a canter. Just a few strides. So I think she's ready. Well done. Count 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and trot. Pat, tell her she's a good girl. Good, carry on trotting. Well done. And weave again. Good. Very good. Just keep that going. And then for a little walk again. Forward into that walk transition. Big pat for her. Girl. Good girl. And then through to a halt.
Just up there.
Where were you?
And trot on again.
She's just going outside, Sarah. Just up there. You can see just there. Look at a pink t-shirt.
Well done.
Why are we whispering?
I don't know, just because I don't want any disturbance on, because I'm sorry, I don't know your name.
Maggie.
Maggie is talking to Sarah on an intercom. So we don't want to disturb
And
her.
then just let those reins go. So long rein. Let her carry herself. Breathe every 10 still. Weave from side to side still. Let me find her feet. Again, remember, shoulder to elbow yours, elbow to fingers hers. Move through with her movement. So just keeping her nicely in a momentum. Ding, drop, ding, drop, ding.
Do you remember do you mind me asking, when you get Sarah or Jess to move across in those arcs and things, is that how a horse would normally move during?
No, so what I want her to do is to be supple and bending.
Right.
And also, when they're a little bit, they get looky at things. It's quite good to take their eye off.
Oh, okay, to move it around.
The more you move their body,
they
then got to think about where they put their feet.
Yeah.
Self-preservation.
Yeah. So they're not going to be fixating on something.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right.
And it's also, it's a very good way of engaging the hindquarters. The engine is behind, basically.
Yeah.
And that's, that's the bit you've got to get engaged in
Right.
working. Right. So then, you move from there to what we call some lateral work, which is much more about the horse stepping under themselves. But this curve is the start of that.
Okay, that's very interesting.
And it gets people to sort of, think about. So, when you're riding like this, your body is a little bit sort of straightened down through.
Yeah.
The minute you open your arms, you open your diaphragm, you sit much more softly
relaxed,
in
not
your
relaxed,
seat.
But active sitting sort of thing, isn't it? Yeah. Rather than being rigid and.
Absolutely, yeah.
Because I suppose if you sit, it's obvious, I'm sure you. But I would guess. I'm just thinking as I speak, really. But I would guess if you're rigid in how you're sitting, the horse is going to be the same as well, isn't it?
There's a big ligament that runs all the way down through. They're not supposed to be sat on, so you've got to help them to work through that.
Yeah.
And your body has to work with them. It's a partnership. It's not about you telling.
Right. Yeah.
It's about working together.
Yeah. I think that's very much Sarah's philosophy. When she talks about Jess and so on, it seems much more interactive than I.
That's lovely. Very good. Says, I am a little bit tired now. Just keep it going just for a little bit more. It'll be a bit mental tiredness as opposed to physical. Very good. Super duper. And then you're going to ask for one more canter. You're going to canter 10 strides. Just let it happen. Let it happen. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and through to trot. Transition is forward always. Good girl. Keep it going, keep it going. And then when you're ready, you're going to come through to walk. Walking on, don't let the walk die. And now drop the reins and halt. Good?
Yeah.
Good.
Thank you. Fab.
So, a couple of things just to think about. So, for instance, in that walk, when I said to halt, to let it happen, you went like this.
Right.
Always think about what, the action of your breathing. So, when I said about the half halt, so where I said suck her up under you,
Yeah.
as she comes back to you, you're sucking her up, you ask her to walk on, that activates. When you want that to go into a halt, suck it up under you and then drop it all around. That goes into the halt. By doing this, you're just putting yourself off balance.
Right.
So, you know, Western riders sit back
Yeah.
to halt,
Yeah.
and that's fine. It's a similar thing,
Right.
but we're not in a Western saddle.
No.
So,
no.
so I think this was useful to you, that shoulder to elbow yours, elbow to fingers hers.
Yeah.
And I think if you think about when you ask to come back from here, that's soft.
Yeah.
When you come from here, it's much harder.
Yeah.
So by thinking, I've got to give
Yeah.
to her the whole time,
Yeah.
that makes a difference.
Yeah.
The power of your breathing is just so much. She's lovely, and she was really starting to listen then,
Yeah.
wasn't she?
Yeah.
A couple of nice little canters.
Yeah. No. Fab.
And again, it's about, you know, letting it happen. As
Yeah.
long as they're warmed up properly,
Yeah.
you should just be able to go and canter.
Yeah.
This open door thing, massively important.
Yeah.
If you're like this, you're much tenser. The minute you go like this, your body opens.
Yeah.
It's the same as the counting thing. If you're talking, you've got to, you've got to be open.
Yeah.
So, as I say, conducting the music,
Yeah.
what I would think about is the clips. I think I would buckle.
Oh, okay.
There's been quite a lot of research on the clip, sort of, you know, that vibration through,
Right.
and I think particularly because
Just the normal.
buckle, yeah. I think
See,
particularly.
I like these because they're so long, but I have got some other ones, and I think he's better now, so I don't need them.
Yeah, she's settled into the bit nicely as well, and also because if you're going to keep the
Yeah, you have to keep changing them.
yeah, that is just quite a rattle against
Yeah.
all of them.
Yeah.
So can you also see how just keeping the rhythm, although so like after the first one you said, oh my god, she's tired.
Yeah.
She wasn't,
She wasn't,
because you
yeah.
keep it going, and she could keep going for a lot longer, but you don't want her to. Also because mentally she's now got lots to think about.
Yeah.
So was that useful?
Definitely. Yeah.
Good.
Brilliant. Thank you. Yeah.
She's lovely. She's having a good old gnaw at that bit though.
He does. She's not very.
So
I have to pull a lot on the bitless.
you have to.
Yeah.
Which is not
so
good.
It's not good.
You know, I
Whereas
think
bit-
people think about bitless as being kind of actually facial paralysis.
Yeah, that's what Frida says.
Yeah, they can be
She'd much rather her be
in the wrong hands.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But she's when me and my instructor think the same. She's very used to bitless.
Yeah.
So to change it over without
Immediately.
having that transition time.
And this something like this is probably quite good because I could see the
Once
minute you
she's
changed over,
settled.
but
Yeah.
very quickly
She settles.
she
to it.
settles.
Yeah.
Yeah. And just
Whereas
if, you,
if she's got
think
that,
about this give as well, it gives her time to sort of think, and just always think, hold for the contact, because quite often, again, people think, oh, they do want the contact. It's a comfort.
yeah. As soon as I gave it to her, she was off on the grass.
Yeah.
She was trying to get off the track a lot of the time.
Yeah, it's quite a lot of nice grass
Yeah.
here.
Harder to work on, isn't it? You know it's harder to work on.
So, yeah, go and enjoy your pleasure rides.
Yeah.
Remember, keep a rhythm.
Yeah.
You know, have a look at the map. Think about what sort of speed you want to make it at,
Yeah.
and work out where you need to be at what times.
Yeah.
In order to make that speed,
Yeah.
so that you keep a steady rhythm.
Yeah.
The most tiring thing for them to do is keep walking,
Okay.
and for you.
Yeah. Okay.
And then, you know, when you're ready to move on, which you should be. I mean, she's a nicely put together mare.
Yeah.
I would say my only worry will be her feet.
Right.
She looks quite flat.
She is, yeah. They're a lot better than they were.
Yeah.
I've got a different trimmer now, but they're still quite tough. She's in renegade, so I'll definitely need to.
And as long as they're happy in the boots, don't be too slow to put them on the back end, because you know the back end is the engine.
Yeah.
If she can't use those because she's sore, the girl that actually came after to pick some stuff up from me, she's got a big Irish horse, sort of 17-2, and he's actually a shiverer, so she can't put shoes on him behind. And you know, it was really, really holding him back, and I said, you're gonna have to try and get boots on him.
Yeah.
Oh, just transformation, because he can use his back end.
Wow.
So, you know, don't be slow to do it.
No.
And yeah, I just get yourself some sheepskin guards or neoprene or something.
Yeah. Okay.
I think. But no, she's lovely.
Yeah.
So I'm back here again for the southeast. It's on the 11th of June.
That's the same week as
same
Paul, right? Yeah.
week as Horse and Lacey is the following Sunday. Yeah.
I might just, I don't know, or I might just leave it.
Yeah, no, that's fine. Don't. Just if you have any questions, then just give me a shout.
Okay.
And then when you're ready to sort of move on a bit, I do ride plans and things for people. So
Okay, cool.
look at that. She's
Yeah.
lovely there. Thank you. Oh gosh. And right in the saddle certainly seems to be working for her.
Yeah, I wasn't sure to start with. I was like, I don't know, maybe I've got it too far forward, because she will not have it on her shoulder.
To the left,
Oh, yeah.
and your numner is slightly rucked up under it.
Oh,
New
is it?
numner.
It's slippery. It's slippery. Because she said, let me get off now. Frida said you should be all right in this number, but I didn't.
You look, it's big.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. Because I'm not allowed to put that through. I'm not allowed to put that. Yeah, I know. So I've got a actual wow one.
I have to say, I'm a big fan of like new meds, stud ones, that sort of thing. The sheepskin ones, but you'd have to get Frida to fit it again with a big numner.
She was hoping not to come out again because she's quite far away from me, so she'd have a little bit of wrong. Yeah, so
I mean,
I'll contact her and see.
yeah, I think that you've got space enough to put a bigger numner under that.
Yeah, she had a sheepskin underneath it before.
Right.
But I thought I just like it's so far. And it seemed to be alright when I rode her out in it the other day. It seemed to be fine.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's the sort of thing you definitely don't want.
No.
So yeah, just have a think about it.
Yeah. Because she thinks that it's not, because this strap's actually pushed that far forward.
Yeah.
To keep it off of her shoulder. So if I put anything through the keepers, even on
then it pulls it back.
It will pull it
Yeah.
over her shoulder. So
Yeah.
that's what Frida said. It's difficult because she will not have anything at all. She's not going, not doing anything.
And the thing, well, no, I know. And why should she? She can't. If she can't move her
can't move
shoulders,
it, yeah,
then
exactly.
you know she can't move forward.
No.
Yeah. So yeah. But you know, be aware. She will change shape a lot.
Yeah. She said
quite
once I
quickly.
start really getting into tempo work, she'll have to come and see her again.
Well, Possibly even before that. Once she's moving properly,
Yeah.
I mean, you must have felt the difference in the way she was moving
Yeah.
with that kind of work. You
Yeah.
know, there was much more power behind.
Yeah.
That builds the shoulders. So, you know, you're immediately sort of looking into her changing shape a lot faster
Yeah.
than you think.
Yeah.
So she might just have
She'll
to come
probably
out
tell
before.
me again, like she did before.
And the thing is, and the most important thing is that you have to listen.
Yeah.
You know, if they say no, then look at why.
Yeah. Because I thought I couldn't ride her in anything but a sheepskin. The feel of the saddle or something, I don't know. But Frida said no, it's because it's too small for her. Needs a wider head shape.
Yeah.
So
And some more, I mean, I had a mare that I couldn't ride in anything other than sheepskin on there, and also, like, even putting the saddle on the back without an armour at all, you know, fireworks. No way, just didn't like the feel of it. Wasn't anything to do with the fit, just didn't like the feel of it. So, but you know, they're all different. But I think you'll find, you know, maybe going out for a hack down the road because it's nice and bright is nice.
Yeah.
But I don't think
training it.
that's not going to do you much good at all. The sort of work that you need to be doing.
There's the one that I've got is it fits the saddle. There's not much, but it's got keepers in it that hold it here.
Yeah.
And then it's got a keeper in it that this bit sits in.
Yeah.
So the whole thing can't move anywhere. Really.
Yeah.
So
Good.
excellent. Thank you very much.
That's all right.
Right.
I'll take the radio off, actually.
Oh yeah. Wander off of that. Forget it.
Well, that's
just-
really good, isn't it?
I
That
know.
it's-
She needs to look at just the flare on that foot and
Yeah.
yeah, me in your ear hole is unnerving. You can never get away from me. Brilliant. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
That's quite all right.